Hey sophomore students, this is a tutorial on how to format a Google Doc into MLA format, and I'll be going through how to set up your first page. So what I recommend doing is doing this alongside with me, and then once you're done, you can actually save this as a template so that you can use it in the future. So I hope this is helpful for you. Here we go. What you want to do to start is just name your document, and if you want to use this as a template, you can just do MLA template so that you can use it and make a copy of it for future assignments, or just do practice or sample or whatever. I'll just title it MLA format sample first page. Then what you want to do is go to the font. Every letter in the entire document has to be the same consistent font. I like using Times New Roman, but you can also use Arial or Helvetica, but make sure that it is consistent and size 12. The default for Google Docs is typically 11, and then you also want to go over and change it to double spaced. Remember that in MLA format you need a header and page number. It's also important to note that the size and font do not automatically change for the header in Google Docs, so you have to click into the header by double-clicking at the top of your page and change that to the same font and size as the rest of your paper, Times New Roman and 12. And so now let's actually add in our header. You want to write a line by clicking on that button, and then type in your last name. Don't try and tab or space over, just hit write a line so you know it's exactly where it needs to be. Type in your last name, and then you want to go up to Insert, Header or Page Numbers, click on the top left option so it shows up on the first page, and there you go, you're all set. Double check that it is in fact the same font and size as everything else in the rest of your paper. Click out of the header by clicking in the main document. Yep, we have the same font and size as in the header, so we are now good to go. So what you're going to do now is enter in the first 4 lines of information in the top left of your page. So type your name, your first and last name. And since everything is double spaced, you just want to hit enter once. And I should note that make sure everything is left aligned. So on the top you see the left line is highlighted in blue. Hit enter and type in your instructor's name. So you type in Mr. Burka. Type in your course title, so that's either English 10 or Honors English 10. Hit enter again, and then you enter in the date. And I should say that this is where a lot of errors or mistakes happen. The date has to be formatted in a very specific way. So how that's going to look is you will type in the day, the month, and the year. Notice there are no commas. Now what you're going to do is go back up to the alignment tabs on the top, on that top toolbar, and we're going to do our title. So again, it's double spaced, so just hit enter once, go up to the top and hit center align, and then you'll type your title. Your title should not be bolded or italicized or underlined. It should just be totally normal and capitalize all main words in your title. So type your title, hit enter once more, and then go back to left align. So notice how we're only hitting enter and spacing once in between since everything is already double spaced. So hit enter, go back to left align. You want to hit tab to indent, and it's a 1/2 inch indent. Don't just hit space, just hit tab. And then you can start typing your paragraph. So I'll just start typing a couple sentences. Again, everything is double spaced. You want to make sure everything is consistent. So you can start typing. So I'm just going to type a couple sample sentences here so that I can show you how a new paragraph works. So here are a couple sentences. It says start typing the first paragraph. Be sure that the paragraph is indented. Be sure you have only hit enter once. So then if you want to start a new paragraph, hit enter. Be sure that you hit tab again. And notice how I'm not adding an extra space in between paragraphs. I've only hit entered once, just the same way I have in everything else. It's indented again. It's the exact same way. And then you can just keep going and follow that format for all new paragraphs. Now here's some more specific details. All of your margins in MLA format should be 1 inch. So if you notice up here there's this ruler and it's set 1 inch away from the edge of the paper. Those are your margins. That should be the default. You shouldn't really have to mess with this at all, but if you need to for whatever reason, you can go up to File and go to Page Setup. And on the right there, you'll see all of your margins are set to 1 inch. And if they're not set to 1 inch, I recommend changing them to 1 inch and then hit Set as Default so your Google Docs automatically format in that way. It should be in portrait, 8.5 by 11 size, white page color. Hit OK if you didn't have to change anything. Hit Set as Default if you did. And then you're good to go. We now have a correctly formatted first page in MLA format. I hope you can see it's not too challenging. It's just doing some specific things. But once you get the hang of it, it's pretty easy, and you can even save this as a template so you don't have to redo this in the future. Hope this helps.